this is an experiment. It may or may not work, and if it doesn't work, you may not see it anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm taking about a pound of leftover turkey meat from Thanksgiving, and I'm going to attempt to make some like individual pot pies with it, using some leftover puff pastry that I need to get rid of, and some phyllo dough, or phyllo, depending on where you're from, that I also need to get rid of. Now for starters, I'm going to take some carrots, some celery, onion, garlic, and a leftover hunk of Italian parsley, and cut them all into pot pie size pieces, whatever that happens to be. Like maybe that size. Good enough. Now I'll put about a tablespoon or so of EVOO into a pot and dump all this stuff in. Although it would help if I turn the heat on. Stop that. A little salt. About that much for now. And all I'm going to do here for now is just let this stuff sweat for a few minutes. Now I'm also, get off of here, throwing in a couple of tablespoons of butter. Just because I like butter. It'll richen it up a little. Now with the onions getting a little transparent, and banking on about 3 tablespoons of combined butter and olive oil in there. I'm adding about 3 tablespoons of flour. Make a little roux. And I'll let this cook just a few minutes to take the raw out of the flour. And after they've had a few minutes to get to know one another, start adding stock. This is some of the turkey stock that I made back when I cooked all of this. That's about a cup. And I'm figuring that I'll add 2 cups of the stock and maybe another cup of water before it's done. This remains to be seen. Thaw, damn you. I've added about a cup of water, maybe a cup and a quarter, and it's thickening nicely. Time to throw in some of the turkey, which I have also whacked up into roughly pot pie size pieces. That was a half a pound of white meat. Now for a half a pound of dark meat. Now it's starting to look like serious pot pie material. And for balance, I'm adding about a cup of some frozen mixed veggies. Maybe a cup and a half. Now it's getting serious. Always taste. A little more salt. And pepper. About a half teaspoon of thyme. And a few chopped fresh sage leaves. And I call this ready. And now for the pie part. This is where it gets interesting. Come out of here. I'm going to try layering up some of this phyllo dough. To pretend like it's a pie shell. Will this work? I have no earthly idea. I don't like that one. Brush it with butter so they will allegedly stick together. I have never messed with this stuff before. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fragile. Oh, just stuff it all in there. That looks almost like it might work. So with 4 of these things made now, it's time to fill them up. And miraculously, I came up with almost enough to just about fill them up. Amazing! And now the puff pastry. And I only have one piece of it left, so it's going to have to stretch. Well, they look different. Now brush the tops with a little bit of butter. And they'll go into a 400-degree oven. For about 15 or 20 minutes. Well, my timing was way off. Oh, shut up. Leave me alone. They were actually in there for 37 minutes. So I guessed wrong. So now they have to cool down. Or if you attempt to break into one of these right now, you will get third-degree burns of your tongue. Give them about 10 or 15 minutes. Alrighty. Now, add a little champagne. And cut into this puppy. What's in here? Yum. That's downright good. In spite of what Garfield thinks, even the filet dough turned out pretty good. This is a right good pot pie, if I have to say so myself. I might just eat 2 of these. Ah, yes. Now, if you'll excuse me,